Okay, so you said you have to be creative, right? You were saying the key to your not your longevity, you were just expressing what you thought about longevity in overall. It's good to stay active, and then it's good to have other interests,
Yeah.
right? And what are your other interests again? You. I know you got the gardening. I don't see you like. I can't imagine you riding a bike or like kicking
I
the
do. Of
soccer
course, I
ball.
ride bike. Of course, I ride a bike. I've always ridden bikes. Yeah, I rode my bike in San Francisco a lot when I was living there, and here, yeah. I mean, I've always ridden bikes,
Yeah.
uh, either as a mean for transportation or as leisure. Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
Uh,
I've never
yeah.
seen it.
Well, I've never seen. No, I've seen you on a
Yeah, I'm
bike,
always on the bike. I'm always on the bike.
but it doesn't matter. Yeah. Yeah, like diversifying the I know it's hard sometimes when people ask you, what are your hobbies except for music, and often I struggle, you
Mm.
know, to answer, and it's like, but I think it's important. It's very important
Yeah. I don't
to,
know.
yeah.
I don't. This is another thing. I don't know. I
I
mean,
mean,
I'm sure I do other things, but when I think of something that even comes remotely close, I cannot think of it. Like
is all you can eat pizza a hobby?
all you
Then,
can,
then
all
you
eating. You know, I do like eating. This is. I like sleeping a lot too.
okay.
Sleeping and eating are two of my favorite things. I don't know if there's anything that I enjoy more than.
Just lazy days recording then, huh?
Yeah.
Sleep.
See.
Eat. Yeah.
Yes. That sounds like a perfect way to have a lazy day: sleeping and eating.
Yeah.
And but I mean, yeah, I guess I like cooking. And I definitely ride the bike all over the place, exercising a little bit and everything. I'm still have this misguided dream of having the six pack before I get too old. Even if it only lasts a couple of days, I just want to get it, and then I can
Is is
say
is, is dating a hobby?
dating a hobby.
Is dating a hobby?
Is dating a hobby?
If it's a hobby,
I
then
like
it's
meeting people. I like meeting people, and if they happen to be
attractive.
attractive, you know, and there's an exchange of thoughts and ideas. Yeah,
Okay.
yes. I don't know if I call it a hobby. Maybe it is a passion though. It is a passion of mine. I like meeting people.
Hmm.
I actually like people watching as well. This is
Interesting.
something I like doing a lot. Like I definitely like I can go somewhere and just sit on a bench and just watch people go back and forth for hours. I used to do this a lot in Philadelphia. So when I should have been making music, you know.
So that's your hobby.
Yeah, I like meeting people. Definitely women. I like meeting women and talking to them. You know. Yeah. What can I say? That's it. I think that's a good hobby.
Yeah.
Now, if I could find a way to make a living from this,
No, a hobby. That's the thing. That's the beauty from a hobby is that you're not supposed to make a living from it.
oh,
Like I've always resisted um, sort of taking two like classes and photography classes because I love taking pictures for a long time now, and I want this to be my that thing that I'm that that I just do for fun.
hmm
I don't want it to become too involved. I don't want us to I don't want people to give me to rate me for it. I just want to take photos.
right, right,
Any
right.
photos. I don't want to be a professional. I just want to. It's just a way to express myself. I'm not going to sell any of my photos
hmm
or anything. And I think these are the things that are great for an artist because after a while, you're making your work, and you, even if it's like we're all saying, oh, we're artists and this is like our real expression and all that. Ultimately, we're also in some sort of a business where people are, well, there's expectations from others, but mainly from us as well, to like what we need to deliver. And there's a lot of mind games
Mm.
involved, where in, gardening or photography, all these things, so cycling around.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's
Yeah.
nothing. It's just it's a pure expression or enjoyment, and I think that can bring some balance in a life where like everything is too condensed, with the pressure of of a career.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, I actually thought this way about music early on. And I was like thinking that like even though we had started this record label and everything, and we were obviously trying to be successful, but at the time I also had a job. I was working at this club as like a bar back, and and I remember thinking to myself that I wanted to just live on money that I made from other things as opposed to um, making money from, I didn't want it to like influence what I was doing so that I start maybe trying to follow trends because I'm depending on the money, you know what I mean? So yeah, this was my initial thought. But then a guy that I went to high school came into the club and I hadn't seen him since high school, and I was asking him what he was doing, and he was like, oh man, I've been playing minor league baseball for a few years, and but then I got hurt, so now I'm just modeling or whatever. And so he seems to have had this quite interesting life or whatever. So when he asked me what I was doing, and by this time I had like 4 or 5 records out, and it didn't seem like when I was telling him what I was doing, it didn't even seem real, or that I mean, maybe it was just my ego talking to me, but I felt like, just because the conversation was interrupted a couple times because I had to go take out the trash, I can't then turn around and say, oh, but I'm making records, I don't know, like it just didn't match up, and I actually tried to quit that night from my job and just flip my whole thoughts on um, making money from what I love doing, or depending on that money, I should say.
Yeah, there is. I know there's a school of thought that says that, and for some people it's very important, to have another job. But also for some people that I've known, also like my good friend Adjas, for example, who used to make music for video games.
Mm-hmm.
At one point had to make a statement and put all his money on his musical career, because it was the only way he could really make it. So at one point, I think it's important also to make a statement. Maybe when you reach a certain point, you feel comfortable about it.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that, but there's no right or wrong. I think
Yeah.
in it. I think if you're happy having another job and then making a little bit of music and traveling once in a while,
Mm-hmm.
that's great too. It's like, it's great. It's less pressure on you. It depends how you see it. Like right now, as much as I would like to diversify a few things, um, I could, my time is limited, so I can't take on, I couldn't have like a part-time job. I know that I was offered a job when I was my last year when I was living in San Francisco. I was offered a job by Apple,
Mm-hmm.
There was like a headhunter who found me. There was some, I don't know exactly why. And then I started thinking about it, about taking that job. And I realized that, driving like an hour there, and driving an hour back, and that hour of lunch in between, I
Hmm.
was like, my days are going to be gone.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go home, and there is no way I'm going to want to work on a label or work on my music. So it's not worth it for me to take that job. I wasn't looking for a job.
Yeah.
That job was looking for me, but I considered it, and I said, "Oh no, I have to continue what I do." I
Yeah.
think sometimes it's important to realize, what you're doing and going with it and just saying, like this is what I do. I'm a lifer. I'm
Hmm.
not someone who's just coming in for the hype or for a few years or for something like that. What interests me is music. Uh, it's not even the nightlife or anything. It's like this is all part of it, but um, yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested first and foremost in music, and I think you see like people like. Have you seen that movie Hero, Dream of Sushi?
Heroes dream of sushi?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, it's this sushi master from Japan.
Hmm.
Made a documentary, I think, on it's on Netflix, and basically um, his way. Well, Japanese people can be like that, like very disciplined. But his way of seeing things, I'm gonna misquote it, but the idea is there is that you find something that you want to do in life, and then you just do it,
Mm.
and you do it the best you can, and you don't you don't complain, you don't think about other things, you just think about your job.
Mm.
That's what you decided to do. You go for it. I mean, it could be a little bit extreme, and I
Yeah.
have my limits towards that. But I think it's also it's a good reminder as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
To sort of concentrate and keep focusing on what it is that you chose to do. And there's going to be good things that come from it. There's going to be bad things,
Right.
and need to be accepting of that and accepting of the difficulties that come with it and overcome them.
Mm. So, I mean, I guess this is part of the not having a backup plan and everything like that. You just, because I mean, I guess another slightly different quote that I've heard is that um, you find your passion first, and then find a way to make your living from this passion, and then you just follow that path, instead of like some of us might take the approach of we have to earn money first to fund what the passion is. And I guess it could work this way, but I guess you have to figure out what's going to make you actually happy, you know because I know I'm perfectly happy to be um, for relatively poor, but doing what I love, and putting all my focus and energy into that versus doing something that I won't feel happy about driving for that hour. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
to get to work or whatever. So I definitely understand that premise. So yeah.
sacrifice is
Mm.
definitely going to be involved in both,
Mm.
both situations. Yeah, the idea of a regular check is something that you and I might never know. When you actually know when money is coming and how, exactly. Like this is foreign to me.
Yeah.
It's foreign to me. It's um, and I'm not complaining. I've lived with that all my life, and I'm
Mm.
totally able to balance things. I found my way in
Yeah.
there, and I'm not a big spender. I know that when I get good months, there's going to be a not so good month after, or something like that. And
Right.
that,
Right.
so you have to be aware and be wise with all these things.